And we're live. Welcome, friends. Greetings. How are you? Happy Friday. On Fridays, we free roam. 6 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. G-Lash with the thumbs ups. Thank you, friend. Appreciate you. Always know we're going to have an excellent stream if J-Lash has the thumbs ups. Shout out and thumbs ups to J-Lash. Dan Konstantin Popescu says, I hope I don't fall asleep. Honestly, Dan, channel member at the Blackwater level, welcome. I hope you do, because you're on the other side of the planet. And while I appreciate you being here and I appreciate your comments, you need your sleep, sir. Here is John Marston's saddle. Miko says, hello, Super Antonio and Sadie. Hello, mods. Howdy, folks. Sadie's here. She's doing her best to ignore the stream. What's that about? And Jolly Rancher says, greetings, Super Antonio. Greetings to you, Jolly Rancher. I like your username. Though I don't love Jolly Ranchers as far as candies go. I'm much more of a traditionalist style. You know, I like chocolate. I like licorice. But Jolly Ranchers, Skittles, Gummy Bears, fruit-based candies never really appealed to me. I like strawberry shortcake. So, this is how you get Micah's gun in Chapter 1. I will make a video guide on this process. Basically, what you need to do is disarm an O'Driscoll and lead him back to Micah. And then Micah will fight the O'Driscoll and drop his gun, and then you can pick it up. The problem is we are seriously underpowered this early in the game. We have no health. We have no health items. You basically can't take any hits. You can even die from a fist fight. You can even die disarming him. And it took, I don't know how many tries. It took like 20 tries. Or, well, 20 to 30 minutes to get this dumb gun. But we did it, and I will show you how. A little bit of green tea tonight. How do you like the new background? So, we got a veer to the right. This Joker, see, we're already dying there. Didn't even reach him. And he has a rifle and a cattleman, so you got to fight him a lot. You can't take any hits. So you can't just like run up to him. You have to be stealthy about it.
What are we doing, Dutch? I can take this if you want. Just make the call. You want to take the lead? Okay, I'll go first.
So what I decided to do is go this way. You're completely out of fire this way. Saza Black says, hello, Antonio. Greetings, Saza Black. And we disarmed him once, and we killed him. One-shot punch. Now we're looking for Micah. Saza Black says, I was playing today and randomly saw a red roan Tennessee Walker. It's my favorite horse now. Oh, those are very pretty horses, the red roan Tennessee Walker. I like to think that Tilly likes that horse. There's usually one in camp, and I like to pretend it's Tilly's horse. And she named her horse Strawberry. Now, you would think you could, there, okay, we disarmed him. Now we try to lead him back. And he's coming. Zazblack asks, Antonio, can you get the 1899 pistol or the Lamat revolver in Chapter 2? You cannot. In theory, Angelo Bronte's henchmen will have an 1899. In theory. But I've never been able to get an 1899 for free from Angelo Bronte's henchmen before Chapter 4. When it actually technically, is unlocked. But you can try. So it's harder than it looks. But that's only because we're seriously underpowered. Let's try that again, shall we? And as for the Lamat, who has the Lamat? I think you can only buy it. I don't know if anyone actually has it that we could take it away from.
I'll go first.
You don't even really need to wait for Dutch. I mean, you can just go off. Really, we should take care of those two guys to the right first before we go with this one. And we killed them again, or knocked them out. So that's super annoying. And interestingly enough, if you go behind any of the buildings, you're out of the line of fire. You're out of harm's way. And Dan is here. Greetings, Dan. Dan says greetings from England. Channel member at the Blackwater. No, the Blackwater level. Yeah, the Blackwater level. Dan Konstantin Popescu is here. Greetings, Dan. I was hoping you were asleep. Appreciate having you here, but you need your sleep, friend. 9 viewers in the chat. Welcome. Dan, did you watch the latest video on the Roger Clark interview? Where I read the Roger Clark interview. Your name is in the end credits. The old 1-2. So you got to be careful, and we die again. Ben says, hello, all of you fellers. Greetings, Benz. Happy Friday. On Fridays, we free roam. 10 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. We're trying to get Micah's gun. How do you like the new format? I'm really happy with this background. It's like the fancy streamers do. It reminds me of the Quartering and Tim Pool. That's who I was inspired by. Dan says, it's my day off tomorrow, so I can stay up a bit longer. Appreciate you being here, Dan. I really do, and I appreciate you joining the channel. This video is sponsored by viewers like you.
So, what are we doing, Dutch? I can take this if you want. Just make the call. You want to take the lead?
Yeah, we don't even have to wait for Dutch. And it took me a while to figure this out. And spoiler alert, we haven't figured it out yet. The other way that would be interesting to do it is take out everyone except him and do him last. Ben says, going on vacation tomorrow morning, so I'm relaxing and tuning in. Okay, Benz. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah. I think if I did this again, I would pretty much kill everybody and do him last. Okay, now we're getting smart. Take out these two guys. We can't take a single hit. See, we disarmed him once, but he still has the cattleman. So we gotta disarm him again. And now he's gotta chase us. Eat a can of beans. So if I did this again, and why not? Because it's fun. You could do this in one shot if you take out everybody except him. The cowards are running away. See? And we knocked him out. You gotta be careful with these guys, with these ogres. Okay, here we go. Run. Run, Arthur. Run, Arthur. Okay. Micah is right around the corner. All you have to do is stand by him. And Micah killed him. Thanks, Micah. Wake up. So all we can do is reload. Ben says it would be nice if Micah's revolvers had 2 weapon slots like John's Cattleman, so you could dual wield if you did this method. Dan says, I done this part in the game. I just start the fight with the first O'Driscoll and run back to Micah. Took a lot of trying. Yeah, we're doing it in real time. And Mama One says, hey everyone. Hey Mama One. Everybody say hi to Mama One. Greetings, Mama One. Happy Friday. On Fridays, we free roam. And Papa One's here and says, hey family. Shout out to you, Papa One. Greetings, friend. Everyone's here. I'm glad you're here, Papa One. You can help keep the chat in check. Help keep track of these unruly bastards. 7 viewers in the chat. I appreciate you, friends. Thanks for being here. Okay, take out these 2 jokers first. Clear some space. Miko says, hello, Mama One and Papa One. Okay, dismiss. No, Arthur, dismiss. Let him get his cattleman, and then you can hit him. No. Gosh darn it. Papa One says, hey, family. Or no, and Mama One says, hey, Miko. Let's try that again, shall we? No worries, Papa One. Papa One apologizes. Papa One deleted your message, Miko. Let's see if I can undelete it. No, I can't. Sorry. Sorry, Miko. And we knocked him out again. Let's see if he'll get back up. Wake up! Wake up! Papa One says, I'm trying to fix it. Don't worry about it, Papa One. Just don't time him out or ban him. Miko, try to do another comment. Let's make sure you're not banned.
So, what are we doing, Dutch? I can take this if you want.
Mama One says, Papa One is having difficulties. I'm so sorry. No worries, Mama One. That's part of the fun of a live stream, is it's anything can happen. That's what makes them so attractive. And there's an authenticity to live streams that you don't get anywhere else. And I think we knocked... Okay, we knocked him down, but he still has everything. Okay, that's one. Get up. Wake up. clocked him. Mama one says, how does he fix Miko from being hidden? I tried to do... Did you hide Miko? Oh, no.
So, what are we doing, Dutch? I can take this if... What the hell are you doing? God damn it! All right, boys.
Miko, give us a test comment. Let me make sure you're still here. And Miko, I apologize. Okay, excellent. Miko's still here. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Papa one says, I apologize, Miko. I accidentally did that. I meant no offense. And Miko says, there it is. Yeah, don't worry about it, Papa one. With great power comes great responsibility. I don't remember how that goes. Miko says, no worries. Okay, what we should be doing is running back to Micah right now. Well, actually, no, we got it. Okay, see? We have Micah's revolver. And Mama One says, that's why I don't let Papa One drive, LOL. There, we got it. But spoiler alert, we're not going to be able to keep it. Why? I'll show you in a minute. See, this is not our fault. Micah has died. And Micah died because he's not dual wielding anymore. Super annoying. What's that about? If I did this again, and I might, just because it's fun, I would kill everyone except that guy. See, I'd loop around and kill these two, and then run around to the front and get rid of everyone except him, and do him last. Mama One says, not your fault. Micah is weak. He sure is. Wasn't my fault at all. Dan says, is there a way to get John's revolver in Chapter 2? Ben says you can do it from the 6-point cabin raid. Ben says, yep, at 6-point cabin, get a random Irishman to disarm Johnny Boy.
So, what are we doing? What the hell are you doing? God damn it! All right, boys.
See, finally, cover and concealment. Finally, Arthur is doing it the smart way. This is the one I made the short out of. The short did okay. How did that short do? Let's look it up. Did everyone see my Roger Clark interview? It did okay, but I thought it would do better. I like this new format. Yeah, 2.7 thousand views on the short. Mama One says, I will say when I first played, I thought Micah was going to be a jerk, but with a heart of gold. However, I was so angry with Micah at the end. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. But, you know, it's like, They tell him exactly. He tells the when he complains about sleeping next to Bill Williamson and Lenny in chapter, at the end of chapter 1, or at the end of the Sadie Adler mission, and also the way he finds Sadler. Look, you who I found. She's an O'Driscoll. Okay, we're gonna get him this time. Don't worry. No worries. Ben says, I don't hate Micah. I don't think he's a bad character. He is a bad character. Probably the most realistic outlaw and an amazing written character. He's, yeah, I mean, you have to have a villain that is equal to the hero. There. Okay, now follow me for more fun. And look at our health. Then kind of stand by Micah. Yeah, see, we go in here, we can like hide a bit and re-up. And wait for that Joker to come around. And Micah killed him again. Wake up! Wake up! Papa once said, I knew a couple guys like that in Vietnam. Some were genuinely good guys, just a little jaded due to combat, but some were bad men. Ben says, bad as in poorly written, I meant. Okay.
So, what are we doing?
Micah's here, and Micah says, in some missions, disarmed NPCs can only be killed by you, which means your friend's bullets mean nothing. Interesting, Micah. I did not know that. And Dan says, I find today, by mistake, I can pick the meteor from the crater twice. Oh, interesting. We're gonna go to the meteor crater today. There, get rid of him. And collect our new revolver. Now all we have to do is finish the mission without dying. The other half of this was taking the girls to Blackwater, which we cannot do, and I lost the footage. I have no idea what happened to it. So, I got some old footage of the legendary moose and the meteor crater. So, we gotta take out all these guys. And interestingly, with all the time that we took fooling around, we're gonna get a gold on this. Because Arthur's really good at headshots. Dan says, I didn't inspect. I just picked up the meteor and then I got back to inspect and the second meteor was there. A second meteor. What's that about? That's an interesting glitch. Actually, I don't think we can do it that well. Actually, maybe. Because Micah moves. He moves out of that spot. We'd have to like chase him until we found Micah. And what happened to our hat? We have to finish the mission. And we unlock Deadeye. I always do this mission before Charles, just because Charles is a fun, friendly mission. And also, those deer are hunt a lot easier if we have Deadeye.
What do you think, Arthur? We hold ground here or go at it? Reckon we're better holding here. All right, hit them all as they come out of the trees.
12 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. We got Micah's revolver. Now all we have to do is finish this mission without dying. Which, to be fair, is not that difficult. Mama One says, is it true during the epilogue if you go to Mount Hagen, Micah's gun can be killed, but Micah isn't there? Micah's gang can be killed, but Micah isn't there yet. Supposedly they keep spawning. I've never tried. You go to the epilogue before the last mission, I assume you're saying. We can. I mean, we go to Mount Hagen before the last mission. We could do that with Marston Mondays. I'll make a note of it. Make a note of it, Morgan. Let's call it MM Mount Hagen. Mike Wagyu. I don't know how to say your last name, Mike, so I'm going to say Mike W. Says, hello, greetings, Mike. Appreciate you being here. Happy Friday. On Fridays, we free roam. And Mama One says, yes, before American Venom. Dan says, it's one more way to pick up Micah's revolver when they rob the bank, stagecoach, and get ambushed. Same thing, start a fight, and then run back to Micah. And Mama One says, hey, Mike.
Go search that wagon there. Mike, search that building. Arthur, you take that building to the left. All right, man, quick. Find those detonators, explosives, anything you can. Let's go.
Benz, did you see my Roger Clark interview? It's very interesting. I think you'll appreciate it. New format. It's basically this format, except I'm reading. And actually, it's a preview of Sinister Sundays. That's the format I'm going to use for Sinister Sundays. That's where I got the idea. And Micah says, I got his revolver in Chapter 3. There was a glitch to kill him in camp.
What do you think, Bill?
Papa One says, I must say Dutch Vanderlyn has an impeccable dress sense. I can see why everyone likes him. Plus, with his charisma. Yeah, I like his rings. And his watch chain. But, you know, you compare him to Dutch in Red Dead 1, where he's pretty much just wearing a union suit, a union shirt. You can see how far he's fallen. So yeah, we got to pick up Kieran. Mike says I do the same thing every time. Technically, I do too, Mike. What's your name, boy?
Let's go for a ride. What's your name, boy? I don't know. You don't know your name? It's Kieran. Kieran what? Duffy. Kieran Duffy. Well, I ain't gonna lie to you. There.
Ben says Red Dead 1 Dutch lost all the drip. Mama One, Sinister Sundays this Sunday will feature H.H. Holmes from Chicago. And then we'll probably do Bigfoot and then ghost stories maybe. I'm not sure. There's just so much content. Christian's here. Greetings, Christian. Christian says, hello, friends. Happy Friday to you all. Sorry I haven't been here in a good while, but glad to be here for once. Yes, Christian, glad you're here.
Mr. Williamson, tie this maggot up someplace safe. We get him hungry first. I got a saying, my friend. You shoot fellas as need shooting, save fellas as need saving, and feed them as need feeding.
Micah says, I really want to hear your ghost story, Super Antonio. And Ben says, I would play some Red Dead now, but I packed up my console to play while I'm at Florida. That's why you need a Nintendo Switch. I don't know if this is... I'm sure this game is not available on Nintendo Switch. Or that Steam Deck.
I'm just sorry we missed out on Cole. Oh, there's time enough for that.
Yes, Micah, we'll do ghost stories at some point. Mama one says, just shows how crazy he got. He literally had it all and lost it all, and it's his fault. His son died, and his other son hates him now. He's now just a hermit who tries to relive the glory days. Dan says, how's the weather in the USA? Here in England, it is raining nonstop for the last 3 days. Dan, the weather here in Saint Denis is quite sunny, a little bit hot, a little bit muggy, but I get a nice breeze from the Lannahechee. And Dan, I've been watching and completely addicted to Clarkson's Farm. Jeremy Clarkson, I'm sure you know who he is. I love that. So I know all about your weather in the UK and how it affects the farming, the farmers, your farmers. And boy, you've got some beautiful countryside up there. Breathtaking. It's amazing to think about J.R.R. Tolkien in the trenches in World War I in France, just miserable, and thinking back on, you know, your Emerald Isle, and thinking about and creating the Hobbit, and you know, and the Shire. The Shire is obviously the English countryside, obviously. Dan says, yes, I watched that too. Yeah, Dan, what's up with your councils, your local councils? What's that about? I think they mostly have it in for Jeremy. I remember one meeting where they said he's not a farmer, he's a media personality. And that's true, but you know, he's sincere about his love for that farm. You know, and the animals. It's wonderful, it's lovely. Dan says, I live in South Yorkshire, Robin Hood country. I know Yorkshire. I know that accent. And Mama One says, I've read many books on H.H. Holmes. I'm reading a book on Jimmy Savile and another on the Green River Killer, written by his wife about their life. Wow. I don't know if we could do Jimmy Savile. Just because YouTube is really weird about that type of crime. Papa One says, I absolutely love World War I and World War II history. Pretty much anything from the Civil War and Wild West to the fall of the USSR. I love the Civil War, Papa One. I think in another life I could have been a Civil War historian. I'm fascinated. My nephew, when he was like really young, and he had discovered like tanks and planes, you know, just little boy stuff, and he was fascinated by World War II, and he asked me what's your favorite war? And after I laughed, I just said, I think it's the Civil War. And then I just started like thinking about it, and yeah, I know the Civil War really well. I love the Civil War. I love the Roman Empire. I especially Roman Britain, Dan. Let's see what else.
How are you holding up?
It's like a nightmare I can't wake up from.
We'll get better, Mrs. Adler.
Okay.
Papa One says, Jimmy Savile is an interesting story, as if everything is really true. It's horrendous how much evil he did. I believe some of it is true, but I watched The Reckoning. They made him seem just bad. There's an interview with Sid Vicious from the Sex Pistols or not Sid Vicious, Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols, where he talks about Jimmy Savile in the 70s and talks about the problems because it was and he got shut down and censored and sued, I think. But they knew in the 70s it was, it was an open secret. Micah says, the UK climate and weather seems nice. I would love to visit one day. And Papa One says, but they portrayed him like Michael Myers bad, like he never tried to hide.
Be well, my proud people. Be well and be happy. Howdy.
Hello there, sir.
Mama One, were you here when I was talking about Nick Rekieta? Talking about someone who lost it all? And we cannot pick up this fishing pole. You'd think we could. That fishing pole is always there. Dan says, Micah, the weather here is unpredictable. You never know when it is sunny or raining. Yeah, Nick Rekieta had it all and lost it. It's crazy. He is a YouTuber. Was probably one of the most successful YouTubers on the platform. He's a lawyer. His channel is called Rekieta Law. I don't know if it's still up or still active. Anyways, he got famous during the Johnny Depp trial and the Kyle Rittenhouse trials, where he was getting like 20,000 viewers in his live streams, 20K, as opposed to the 10 we have now. Shout out to the 10 viewers. Welcome, friends. Yeah, he was incredibly popular, the most popular streamer for a while. And he just slowly went downhill. Substance abuse. He would appear drunk on stream, high on stream. And finally, he got arrested on a weapons charge with 25 grams of cocaine. And he was living, at the time he was living, and this happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was living with his wife and his girlfriend. What's that about? And his 5 kids. So they I'm sure the oldest must have known that something was up, but it's like, how is that possible? And now he's looking at 25 years. And also the girlfriend and the wife got arrested too. So the kids are gone, And, it's just someone I'm fascinated because by every measurable metric, he had a successful life. Even before his YouTube channel, he was a successful lawyer. He had a law firm. He went to college for 7 years, became a lawyer, met a girl, fell in love, married her, had a house, had 5 kids, somehow managed to have a mistress and a wife living in the same house with their 5 kids. What is that? And then his channel blew up. And then he just lost it all. It's fascinating. Mama One says, I've heard of him, but not greatly familiar. Yeah, he didn't kill anybody. I mean, it's like, but I think, the weapons charge and the drug charge carries more weight. I don't know the law because of the 5 kids that are there. Oh, Sadie's here, Mama One. I always like to show you Sadie because, here, sit up. Hop, hop. She's been here all this time. There. Pay attention to the chat for once. Say hi to Mama One and Papa One and Micah and Miko and Dan. Tell Dan thanks for joining the channel. Mama One says, did you know about EDP? A predator catcher caught him again. And Raging Fire says, hi, nice live, Super Antonio. Greetings, Raging Fire. You have a very Viking name. Do you come from a land of ice and fire? Raging Fire. And Dan says, hello, Sadie. Back on the Perlino in Cougar Country.
Hi there, mister.
Raging Fire says, I've been watching you since 2022. Well, I appreciate you being here, Raging. And I appreciate you're still playing the game. Did you see my interview, or I read the interview with Roger Clark. It's on the, it's the latest video. I'm very proud of it. Mama one says, hey Sadie, you always make our day. We always love tuning into your stream, Super Antonio. Well, we're going to be streaming all weekend, and you can see the schedule right about there, right about here. And Christian says, hello, Sadie, looking as beautiful as ever. Papa One says it carried more weight because he had a gun. Sadly, the government don't care about the kids. When you have a gun, even if you don't use it in the commission of your crime, it adds up more charges. Yeah, and plus it's like 25 grams was a felony weight. But even though I'm sure it was for his own and his like girlfriend and his mistress and wife's personal consumption. There's a quote by Sting, lead singer of the Police. He said that I've always loved. He said, cocaine is God's way of telling you you have too much money. Dan says, Super Antonio, what do you know about Witcher 4 when it's coming out? I think it's called the School of Lynx. I've heard they're working on it. CD Projekt Red. That's all I know. I'll see if I can find see if I can find an article I can read so we can do it properly, as we're slowly evolving the channel into a or actually we're just adding gaming news to the channel. Witcher 4. Micah says, wasn't Keanu Reeves in one of the Witcher games? He was in Cyberpunk 2077. Oh, and interestingly, Mama One, Netflix was working on a series on H.H. Holmes that was going to star Keanu Reeves, but it didn't happen. Mama One says, we are preparing for a horse show this coming week. It's something we volunteer for the past 11 years. It's a cowboy camp for special needs kids, but they also have non-special needs kids as well. Okay, that sounds fun, Mama One. Cruz is here. Cruz says, hello, Super Antonio and everyone. Greetings, Cruz. Appreciate you being here, friend. Let's go talk to the devil. Cruz asks, any footy fans, Champions League final tomorrow? Dan is probably a footy fan. Cruz and Dan, have you seen a movie called Dog Soldiers? It's set in your neck of the woods, but footy is involved. England v. Germany, bloody World War II. Cruz says, Dog Soldiers, not LOL. Everyone look up, I highly recommend it. It's I don't know if they're SAS or whatever, you know, they're like, it's a military team on maneuvers, a training mission, and they run into werewolves. But one of the themes of it is they just want to get back to the barracks so they can watch the footy. Cruz says, I'll Google it. And Mr. Maddie says, howdy, folks. Greetings, Mr. Maddie. Ben says, I watched Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid the other day. It is fun, and the ending is so famous, iconic. It's a fantastic ending, a perfect ending. Raging Fire says, Super Antonio, what's better, Panther or Snake Saddle? I prefer the snake. I used to prefer the Panther, but I think the snake looks more traditional. Cruz says, LOL werewolves. Any vampires? Not in that movie. Mama One says, I will be riding a handsome black Missouri foxtrotter named Blackwatch, named after his owner's old British Army unit, Scottish Blackwash. His owner is 94 years old and a veteran of Korea and the SAS. Wow. And Ben says, they definitely barrel rolled over all the bullets after the freeze frame. Mama One says, beaver roping saddle for the win. It's probably the easiest trapper saddle to get. Cruz says, drinking a club soda right now. I'm drinking my green tea. And I have I have my liter of water with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Ben says they did survive Bolivia historically, so they could have survived.
Okay, I'm not the devil, but I want to be.
Yeah, but it's such a perfect ending.
And that's even worse.
Going into legend.
Nasty man. Go away. I don't want you here.
Robert Redford was a little too old to be the Sundance Kid, but it was a perfect combo, those two.
Wanting anything but
Paul Newman, Robert Redford. They went on, they did it's not a sequel, but a sequel to that partnership called The Sting, which is probably one of my favorite movies of the 70s. You'd think it would be Jaws. What's that about? But I would say it's The Sting. I have The Sting on Blu-ray. It was my dad's favorite movie. Papa One says, drinking a nice Guinness Extra Stout. I used to love Guinness, Papa One. It's really good for a warm beer. And Raging Fire said, yes, I do think Red Dead Redemption 2 is the best game ever. Dan says, everyone have a blessed weekend. I got to go sleep now. Okay, Dan, I appreciate you being here as much. And look, we're off the map. Appreciate you being here. So if you get drunk and pass out here, you'll wake up on the other side of the map. And Dan, have a great weekend. See you soon, friend. There's nothing really in this cave except for that exploit and the devil, who's not really the devil. Raging asks, is the brindle thoroughbred the best coat for the thoroughbred? It is for Arthur. We have the seal brown thoroughbred, which I am very fond of, for John. Papa One says, my dad would have slapped me for offering me a warm beer. He said that's like offering ice to a campfire. He drank ice-cold Lone Star beer. That's because he was a cowboy, Papa One. And if he couldn't get that, Hams or Pabst Blue Ribbon. Mr. Matty, you are not late. You are just in time. Always on time, like a wizard. A wizard is never late. I read somewhere, it's kind of sad, time progresses. Viggo Mortensen is now the age that Ian McKellen was when he played Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, which I also have on Blu-ray. Extended edition. Micah says, I wish they added more in the caves, perhaps the remains of previous explorers. Well, where the White Panther lives, you can find remains of previous explorers. Mama One says, Reverse Dapple Black is my favorite horse for Arthur. Can we get a horse show dedicated to the Reverse Dapple Black Thoroughbred? We sure can. Let's do that next week. Make a note of that, Morgan. Reverse Dapple. Christian says, don't forget to like the live stream, friends. Appreciate you, Christian. And he's right. Ben says, Super Antonio, do you still have your 100% file saved? I do. I am saving mine and restarting the epilogue. Yeah, I have it. I never use it. And Raging says, was Arthur's horse Boadicea red? Yeah, she had to be. Had to be. Why else would you name your horse Boadicea? I believe Boadicea's was the liver chestnut Hungarian half-bred, and coincidentally, I just did a short on her. And Ben's wants the Tiger Stripe Mustang. That's a good Mustang. Yeah, we can do the Tiger Stripe. Tiger Stripe Mustang. What are we doing for tomorrow's horse show? Let me look it up. I already forgot. Saturday horses. Oh, we're doing the Ardennes. The Iron Gray Ardennes. That's for David. Either David or O-Dog. Somebody wanted the Iron Gray Ardennes. Micah asked, did you get the zoologist trophy for the game? Is that for like examining every animal in the game? I forget. O-Dog is here. Greetings, O-Dog. How are you, friend? Have you been lurking? Are you with your lady friend? Happy Friday. Mama once says, I do like the Perlino and Illusion, but my top three are the Reversed Apple, Piebald Tobiano Hungarian, and the Raven Black Shire. Honorable mentions are the Seal Brown Dutch Warmblood and Brindle Thoroughbred. Miko says, hey, O-Dog, and Mama one says, third is the Iron Grain Ardennes or the White Arabian. Cruz says, okay, guys, I'll be off. Busy weekend ahead of me. Adios. Appreciate you being here, Cruz. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend, friend. O-Dog says, yeah, and had some company pop up with my neighbors. Mama one says, hi, O-Dog. And O-Dog says, howdy, Miko, Cruz, and Mama one. Micah says, yes, you have to study every animal in the game. Yeah. Yeah, but I haven't done that, and I'm too lazy to study them now. Papa one says, hi, O-Dog. O-Dog says, I'll have to go back and watch the video. Watch my Roger Clark interview, O-Dog. Because that was a lot of fun to make, and I thought it was interesting. O-Dog says, howdy, Papa One. Yeah, I don't think I will ever do 100% again, simply because I don't want the game to end. And that's how you end the game, by doing literally everything. Then after that, there's nothing. I mean, except for random hunting that will reward you with nothing. Micah says, I honestly just study animals for Arthur's Journal. Yes, that's true. Papa One says, Iron Gray Ardennes is my favorite, tied with the White Arabian. I made Mama One get one and named her the Duchess, which was my nickname for my mother. That's a great nickname, Papa One. And Raging Fire says, I think the Brindle Thoroughbred is the best horse for Arthur. I can't do the biscuit glitch. Yeah, it's difficult. Certainly the best horse for Arthur in Chapter 2. And I love the Brindle Thoroughbred for hunting. I have no evidence. It's purely anecdotal. But I believe that you have a better chance of spawning 3-star animals of all kinds on a brindle. And that's just based on personal experience. However, if you were starting this game and you were going for the Legend of the East Satchel, I would tell you that you need the Buck Antler Trinket and a Brindle Thoroughbred. What's that about? Odog says, raging, it's not easy. I just settled for the Piebald or Perlino Andalusian. And Mom One says, I wish Rockstar would do more for us. Hell, I would even accept for online. Like doing bounties online. But it's pay to win, and I don't like the darn Battle Royale people do online. Same here, Mama One. Raging asks, Super Antonio, how long have you played Red Dead Redemption 2, and what's your favorite mission? I would have to do favorite mission by chapter. But, like, one of my favorite, most pleasant missions is the hot air balloon. Because I was just amazed you could do it. And it was so happy and peaceful up there until they start shooting at us. And it was just a joyous mission. And I have played since game release. Since November of, 2018? Yeah. Literally every day. This game changed my life. Odog says, I have the best luck with the reverse dapple thoroughbred from the Ultimate Edition and the Perlino Andalusian for hunting, I would assume, Odog. Micah says, what do you think of the strawberry Ardennes? Odog loves it. I think that the strawberry is a beast. All the Ardennes are beasts, but it's a really pretty color. She looks great in the snow. Ben says, Arturo was a real one. Fly high, Balloon Man. I just wish, it's like Sadie couldn't go up there because of the vapors. But, yeah, it's a fun mission. Mama says they should allow us to do unlimited bounties in story mode like Red Dead 1. That way you always have money and you should be able to have more horses. Break them and sell them for more than a few dollars. That's a great idea, Mama One. Odog says, what up, Benz? And Ben says, sup, Odog. Micah says, doesn't it spawn near Annesburg? Are you talking about the Perlino? Then yes, you're correct. Odog says, wonder if there's a trick to get strawberry. Odog, you know the drunk fella who put a rock in the middle of the road. And do you know the face rock exploit? You can do a variation of that to spawn that thing alive. And Odog, I've explored the Saint Denis glitch in depth, and I don't think I've ever seen that horse in the version 1 Saint Denis horse glitch. I've seen Hera, ironically. Raging, I play on PS4. We are Team PS4. Odog says, I've gotten it in version 1. Okay, you've gotten it. Well, let's go get the legendary moose. Who I hardly ever get. Rigging, we are going to use the Springfield with express rounds. Ben says, on my first playthrough, I kicked the sun worshipper off the cliff. Talk about this is Sparta. That wasn't very nice, Benz.
Hey there, mister.
It's funny, though. Arthur will, like, tease him. It's like, hello. Mama One says, "Are you a fan of GTA 5 or GTA Online?" Not really, but you should talk to Serena about GTA Online. Mama One continues, "I tried to get into it, but people are too advanced and just like to kill new players. I can never get any money, and you have to have one other player to make money." Yeah, I don't like that world. I don't like, I don't like the cars. I don't like the music. I don't like the clothes. I don't like the characters. I like games set in the past or the future. I don't like games set in the present. I live in the present. Raging, yes, I do believe that Springfield is the most underrated, but it's single shot, and but it's perfect for hunting. Wodak says, "Mama One, me and Serena play GTA 5. I'm level 450. Wow, what's that about?" And Micah says, "Mama One, GTA Online has tons of griefing. It wasn't always this toxic though." Ben says to Mama One, "It happens sometimes." And Odak says, "Mama One, the best thing is to play in your own session." And Odak says, "I used to rob the bank." I think LA Noir is free if you have PS Play or PS Now. So you could play LA Noir. Raging, I'm not really excited about GTA 6, but I know many people are. Yeah, I don't care. I do think that this game is the height of video games, and that we're in a downtrend right now. I will know for sure when GTA 6 finally comes out. But I do think that this is the best game that we're going to see for a while. Micah says, "When GTA Online first started, the community was a lot friendlier." And Miko says, "Annisburg, my favorite cougar hunting spot." Oh, I always, my favorite spot is like north of Lake Owanjila. Mama One says, "This game takes me to a better time where you could have true freedom. More things were natural and more nature, and it's beautiful, and its beauties. Plus, I love horses. I loved my years working with horses. Yeah, it's a beautiful game. Everywhere you look is a perfect landscape, and of course the horses." And Bent asks, "Do you think GTA 6 will be a masterpiece?" I hope it is for your sake, but I don't think it will be. I honestly don't. Odak says, "Don't forget the sports genre, Superantonio. NCAA football is a big spike for gaming, as real-life college players are now getting a cut of the action." Okay, Odak, if you find any articles you would want me to read for the channel, send me a link. And I will. Ben asks, "How many times have you gotten The Legend of the East, Super Antonio?" 3 times. Twice as Arthur, once as John. I was obsessed with the Legend of the East outfit for Arthur. First year of the channel. Got a bunch of I've got a bunch of videos, really old videos on Arthur and his Legend of the East outfit. Raging says, "What do you think is the hardest legendary to kill?" The Giaguaro. You get one shot. He's a single shot kill, and he's always in the shadows. Basically, as soon as you see movement, shoot. Mama One says, I wish I still could. Papa One has to talk me out of buying new horses every day. I want an Arabian or an Arkham Tech horse. It's a modern day Turkoman. They have gold, dark bay, and many other coats.
Must be close.
Micah says, I think it's the Bull Gator, Ridge and Fire. Well, yeah, but you can see the Bull Gator from a mile off. And he's slow. You know, you have to go into the bushes in the cover and coax the Giaguaro out. The Bull Gator is like beautiful, and you get to kill a dinosaur, and that's awesome. Yeah, Benz, I'm over the Legend of the East outfit. I like this outfit for Arthur. The only thing I like about that outfit is the watch chain. And the scarf is nice, but you know, I don't like scarves on Arthur. But yeah, you're one in the channel that I was obsessed with that outfit. Yeah, Benz, you cannot lead the Bull Gator back into Saint Denis. You probably could in version 1, but I don't want to go to chapter 6 again. I have a chapter 6 save in the latest version. Mama One says, also I think about Missouri Foxtrotters, Dutch Warmbloods, Hanoverian Half-Breds. They are what Hungarian half-breds are based on. Dutch Warmbloods were first recognized in 1968. Mama One knows her horses. There's the moose. There's Moosey Moose. Explosive round for the win. Right between the eyes. And, you know, with an explosive round right between the eyes, he's still up. He's still going. Ben says, I couldn't even play back to chapter 4 and then do the save with cheats method, then not have to grind in the epilogue, but that's a little much. Micah says, I think the legendary boar is the easiest legendary to kill. Yeah, you might be right. Or legendary beaver. Papa One says, Mama One, I love you, but we are not getting another horse. My hips hurt just thinking about breaking one. We can get another dog. Rick needs a new friend, LOL. Yeah. Get another dog. Just get a big dog. You know, the cutoff, the lower end for big dogs is 50 pounds. Like 50 to like 100 or 175 pounds or whatever. So technically, Sadie is not a medium dog. She's a big dog. She certainly thinks she's a big dog in her mind. And finally, we visit the Meteor crater. Odog says, of course, come back and visit that at night, Super Antonio. Yeah, we don't do enough night videos simply because it's so difficult to film. I mean, it just comes out so dark, technically. Yeah, we're going to the Meteor house first. Raging Fire says, my brother played Red Dead 2 again. He wanted to get the White Arabian, but he was struggling to break it. I was giggling a little bit, but he got mad at me. He said, you think you're better than me. Tell your brother to practice on minor horses, like just randos, Tennessee Walkers, until he gets the mechanics down. Mama one says he wants dogs now. I want horses. We got 3 now, but he wants to get St. Bernards or Irish Wolfhounds. That's basically getting a miniature horse at that point. I say we compromise and get an Arabian and 1 St. Bernard, but Papa one wants 3 more dogs. Yeah, I would go with the compromise, personally, Papa one, just because marriage is all about compromise. But, you know, I can't tell you how to live your life, and I don't know what I'm talking about anyways. Ben says, I'm telling my uncle about the Herbalist 9 last method to get the Legend of the East as Arthur, because he loves Arthur. But I'll most likely do it again as Johnny Boy. Papa once says, we need more farm dogs, plus we got a lot of land and they kill coyotes. Raging says, I think I'm better than my brother in Red Dead 2 because I know everything and I got the Legend of the East outfit. Will Raging be a good brother and help him get the White Arabian? Well done, Raging Fire. Raging Fire says, I taught him how. And this video is so old, Arthur isn't going to shoot that frying pan. Papa once says, $200, say next year she has an Arabian, and I'll get at least 1 St. Bernard, LOL. Or she will go to the shelter and get the biggest dog who has been there forever. Man, I love those St. Bernards are cute, but they look like they shed like nobody's business. Raging says, bye, Super Antonio. I'm going to go now. Raging, have a great weekend. Appreciate you being here. Welcome to the stream. Hope to see you again soon. And then we're going to do an Arthur jump. I used to be obsessed with these horse jumps. Odog might remember them. Serena would remember them. Where is that girl from Down Under? Odog says, Bearnese Mountain Dog, a smaller version of a St. Bernard. Very fun dog. Ben says, a stunning dog is a leopard spot Catahoula cur. I think it's Bearnese, I'm not sure. Odog. I like the, what are those things called? I like Cane Corsos and, what is that? I'm thinking, let me look it up. Oh, the Belgian Malinois. I like the Belgian Malinois. Don't tell Sadie. Odog says, my best friend has one. Ziggy is a riot. Mama one says, they shed a lot and they drool. My son has a friend who's 92. He's a Korean War vet who smokes around 5 to 10 cigars a day. He has a St. Bernard named Luna. He had someone break into his shed. And here is the Meteor crater. In theory, Moonstone Pond might be the second meteor crater, which would make sense because it's moonstone. But we cannot swim underwater. If we were Geralt or Rivia, we could swim underwater. What's that about? Here, grab the meteor, which we never do anymore. We hardly ever explore up in this in this area. But yeah, this reminds me of the Tunguska event, which happened, when did it happen? In 1908 in Russia and Siberia. A large explosion of between 3 and 50 megatons that occurred in Russia. And, you know, all those trees are blasted out of the way. And it's just, I mean, it's amazing. And nobody knows what happened. It was probably a meteor, but nobody knows. Ben says, my bulldog has got 2 more weeks to go before we can scoop her up from the breeder. She is getting chunky now. Oh, that'll be fun, Ben's. And Mama one says, he thought it was just a possum in his yard. Well, the St. Bernard ripped this guy's legs to shreds and also came back in with a mouthful of the burglar's underwear. That's a good dog.
You're all right, girl.
I believe the military uses Belgian Malinois for their canine units, and they will install titanium teeth, titanium fangs. Turn those dogs into killers. So I don't want an ex-canine dog. I just like a friendly puppy to play with, and but I'm having fun. I'm fine with this puppy. Don't tell Sadie. I don't think, do we know any Belgian Malinois? We met what's the name of that dog? I don't know. Some kind, this dude, this bro has a like a poodle mix. I really hope it's his. First time we saw the dog, I was like, I hope that's your girlfriend's dog, sir. I didn't say that, of course. It's not. It's a very feminine dog. But he wanted to like socialize her, so I was like, okay, you can. And Sadie, of course, is happy to socialize with anyone, even the little dogs. And this dog isn't exactly little. I would say it's, maybe 20 pounds-ish. I mean, smaller than Sadie. But what I like about this dog is that she kind of looks like Snoopy, except a poodle. I mean, she's black and white, has black ears and a black nose. But she's built like a poodle. So Sadie has a new friend. I don't know if we know her name. I know the guy's name. Mama one says, I love the name Sinister Sundays. It's going to be a great time hearing all the ghost stories and horror stories. Maybe even react to scary stories animated. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's infinite, the things we can do. And that's about all I have for you tonight, friends. I really appreciate you being here. Do you like my new background? I like this background a lot. We shall return tomorrow night for the Saturday Horse Show, featuring the Iron Grey Ardennes, which I believe David or Odog wanted. Where's Odog? David, Odog, where's David? What's that about? Shout out to the mods. Odog and Mama One and Papa One, thank you for being here. Miko, appreciate you, friend. Miko says thanks for the stream. Thanks to the mods. Take care, everyone. Mama One says, great stream. Mama One, you're a great stream. Odog says, rather both of us wanted LOL. Okay, well, you get your wish, Odog. Appreciate all of you, friends. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And